like it. I like it. Okay, we're looking down the barrel of the lightweight division, finally leaving middleweight, and we are... The reason we're all here tonight, now, I was talking to JK a bit earlier on, saying this is potentially Khabib versus McGregor, but then he also pointed out it's Khabib versus Poirier, and it is just another version of that, really, just a bit later on in life. We got 25-1 for Makhachev in the red corner, and 30-8 for Dustin Poirier, who is the diamond and seasoned vet, of course. Now, advantages here, it's going to be pretty even on the feet. Size-wise, height-wise, reach-wise, it's not a lot in it other than the 2 inches that's afforded to Poirier. And I say that because he's going to want to be using his striking in this. He doesn't want to have that post-traumatic stress or that trauma he used to have of being taken down and being underneath this Dagestani-style wrestler as he had done previously with Khabib. So he's going to want to avoid that at all costs, in my opinion. I guess one thing I will say about this particular fight, though, is that, it is wrestler versus striker, but you can't ignore the fact that Makhachev is quite well-rounded. He's come quite well. You can't pin him as just a wrestler now. He's very well-rounded. He's a bit better than what Khabib. A lot of people are saying that he is better than the GOAT Khabib himself. So this would be this is the first fight where we would see Makhachev cross over with an opponent that Khabib has fought as well. Mm-hmm. So we really get to put him up against that yardstick and sort of measure how he comes out in this one. Do you think with Khabib in his corner, he will use the same blueprint that Khabib used? Or do you reckon he's going to really show us how much better than Khabib he really is?
Well, he needs to, but the thing what is most intriguing about this fight is the fact that Islam is coming into this very, very confident. And, he's been showing a lot of confidence in his striking game as of recent. The head kick knockout against Volkanovski is a prime example of that.
Yes.
But, and he said in his in the media today that, he feels that Dustin's coaches all know that he's going to lose this, and and he's just showing that kind of a bit more of an aura now, which is very good to see. But
confidence.
Can he get too confident on the feet? Is what I'm waiting to find out in this fight. Because personally, I think Makhachev needs to be relentless with the takedowns. He needs to be. We've got to edge Poirier the striking in this, without a doubt. He's so slick with his hands. His boxing is phenomenal. And I think he's able to close distance and land power.
It's that shot selection he's got, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
The body to the head is brilliant.
But on the other flip side, you've got Makhachev, who's been very good at kind of utilizing his kicks a lot recently as well,
Yes, we saw against Volkanovski, of course.
And he cracked Oliveira with his hands. So,
yeah.
So
Khabib is back and he's going to be in his corner.
Yeah.
But you don't think that he will be taking necessarily that same fighting style?
No, I think Khabib being in his corner is a bit of a preview, really, of what Makhachev's offense is going to be like, because we know what Khabib's going to be calling for. He's going to be calling for the takedowns. If you remove Khabib from that corner, then you start to kind of worry what his corner would be doing, what the game plan would be for Makhachev,
Yeah.
But surely he can't, get too carried away on the feet.
Yeah, the cool thing is he's got it there. He's always got it there to lean onto. And yeah, with Khabib in the corner, you're right, he's going to be spamming that takedown button all day long on that control pad. But in a way, and this was something I don't know, it's a bit of a long shot really, but in a way you could say, bear with me for a second, you could say that Poirier has already played the beta version of this, because back in 2019, of course, when he fought Khabib, he knows already as to how they fight, what to look out for effectively. Michael Bisping goes as far as to say that his that Poirier's resume does smoke that of what Islam Makhachev's is. And, he's a seasoned vet. He's a veteran. He's fought some of the best guys out there, no doubt. We want to see this guy stick around for a minute. Really, what I'm trying to get at here is, do you think the lessons that what do you think the lessons are that he should take from that fight against Khabib in order to carry it in with him on this weekend?
Mainly be cage control, really, and trying to be a bit more aware of where you are. Because if Poirier is able to kind of do that and stay off the fence and remain in the center of the octagon, then I think he has a stronger chance. However, there are differences between Makhachev and Khabib's game. I think Khabib was much more relentless with his pressure than Makhachev. Makhachev's a bit more reserved. And it even shows on the ground as well. Khabib was just kind of like manhandling people, and relentless at doing it. Whereas Makhachev kind of takes his time. He sets things up to perfection. And he also has a bit more of a different takedown selection to his arsenal, I think. So, I think that what I'm saying is Poirier's got a lot more to worry about in this.
Yeah, agreed. And I would just kind of paint it in a way that he might have had an advantage. The fact that he's fought someone like Makhachev. I don't think Makhachev's fought someone like Poirier yet. So this is probably why I would say he does have the experience going into this one for sure. Just how is he going to be using it, and how should we see him using it? Really, what we got there?
For God's sake, you guys! When I first clicked on the live stream, I thought the guy on the right was Arnold Allen. Goodness sake, what Arnold Allen today? One day it's Corey Sandhagen, the next day it's Arnold Allen. But welcome on in, brother. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're a UFC fan channel where fan opinions matter most, and make sure you stick around this weekend for a live watch along for this weekend's UFC 302. We got Ash who says Dustin via Gilly. Triple B says Islam has a serious advantage in his corner, Khabib. He also says Islam showed he can knock out, as we see with Volk, and a wide range of submissions, as we saw with Dan Hooker. He also says, I love Dustin. He looked amazing against BSD, but his vernacular of possible retiring is worrisome for me, especially a championship fight, especially with Islam. George Murray says Islam beat a midget, so his lightweight title reign starts now. Got to agree with George there. That's a good point. He ain't gonna want to box with Dustin. Absolutely not. So I would you like a 32 this weekend?
George Murray. Let's do it. Yes. This weekend we're gonna get the 32 off the menu in house as well. So we'll get it live on stream. And you can see me tucking into my winnings, George. Yeah, you can. But what we're going to do this time, hey, this is 302, so it makes sense to get the 32.
You guys can sort that out.
Another 32 on the 302. That'd be crazy. For those of you guys who don't know, me and George Murray, a couple of pay-per-views ago, had a bet on who's going to win. Li Jiang or...
Well, the shorter version of the story was there was a Chinese up for grabs, and it was all came down to one particular number. So
Yang Jinan and Weili Zhang.
Yeah, so let's get back onto the fight then.
So I would say in this matchup, let's get the gauges up then, shall we?
Yeah.
Probably the best thing to go from here with it. I would say, you're going to see the striking from Poirier, and he's going to have to, I think, showcase some uppercuts, showcase some knees to put Makhachev on notice that those takedowns can't just come at distance. Well, that's it. You did mention something as well about why the gilly might not be so easy.
Yes, the reason why the gilly won't come so... Because I think, a lot of people, or a lot of Poirier fans are getting their hopes up after that BSD win. And the reason why the gilly's not going to come very easy against someone like Makhachev is because they're both in a southpaw stance. Now, when Islam drops down for that single leg, his head is going to be on the inside of Poirier's body, which doesn't open up for the guillotine. So, I think it's only gonna come against the cage, similar to what we saw in the Khabib fight, because Poirier did get a guillotine attempt against Khabib, but that's only when he's kind of like standing in an orthodox kind of stance at defending the takedown. So it all depends on where Islam puts his head, but it's not going to be a matter of shooting in and jumping gilly straight away. It's just not going to work that way, I'm afraid.
Yeah, just because the stance makes it a bit awkward. But certainly, I think if I was saying something that Poirier should take into this as well, I reckon just staying away from the cages, because that was where Khabib set up those takedowns a lot of the time. And we all know that Makhachev can do it there too. But if we was going to say who's got the advantages where, I think quite off the bat we can say striking. Oh, that's not right. Striking and grappling that way.
Easy.
And then for the rest of it, it might get a bit choppy. Power, I think I've got to go Poirier on power.
Yes.
It's just how he gets it done most of the... Well, he can get done that way most of the time. And it's submissions, of course, for Makhachev. Speed, though, I would... Oh, he's fast, man. Makhachev's relatively fast.
This is where things get really difficult.
It really is.
Because Poirier's got some good gas tank in him as well.
I might go cardio Poirier.
And he's fast.
And then speed for Makhachev, just because I was impressed at how he was able to light up Charles Oliveira. He had speed there.
This is where strength plays a massive part in this, because strength would side on with Makhachev.
Power. You think he'd have power?
Strength.
Oh, if we had strength in him. Oh, yeah. He's so strong in the grappling exchanges. But that's why he's got grappling, because...
but he's more skilled in terms of technique when it comes to grappling.
And strength, though, too.
Strength as well, yeah.
I'll give it both in that sense. I think who did Drew Dober up against him? Was it Drew Dober I'm thinking of now? He just really struggled. The frame of him was just difficult to maneuver him in those clinches.
Poirier's got a bit of a bigger frame in there. Before we decide this, maybe some guys in the chats can also help us, and let's hear what you think or who you're going to pick for speed and cardio for this fight. But whilst we do that, we'll see what everyone else is saying at the moment. Blockhead says, when I hear JK talk now, I keep anticipating the Renato Moicano voice to emerge. I'm not going to do it yet.
He's begging for it. He's begging for it.
Colostrum says Islam is to defensively sound on the feet. He will stay safe and take him down and drown him. That's I can kind of see there as well. It also says Islam could use trips in the clinch. Then there's no Gilly. Absolutely, yeah. The way that I kind of see Islam putting his takedowns together the most would be from body lock and inside trip. Or kind of against the cage, really, staying safe at all times. He said, George Murray says, Dustin almost caught Khabib. Islam takes more risk when rushing for takedowns. So if Dustin can read that, then it could cause issue. But JK Wright, the southpaw stance, will have an effect. Yeah, absolutely. That is true. And part of Khabib's, I guess, game plan was his relentlessness never gave you time to kind of think a lot of the times, in terms of your defense. Whereas, with Makhachev, because he's a little bit kind of slower, a little bit more methodical on the ground, then maybe Poirier can create scrambles in there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Strength from the IV drip, says George. Speed and cardio falls into the grey for both. For me, says Brockhead.
Yeah, it's hard.
Imran Khan. Yes, Imran Khan. Welcome on in, brother. Hit that like button. He says Islam gets the speed, held the least absorbed strikes before. Ooh. Okay, interesting. George Mary's going speed, Dustin, cardio, Islam. Ooh, man.
It's mixed. It's mixed, isn't it? So Dustin for cardio.
And Brother B's agreeing with George. For speed, Dustin, and cardio, Islam. Yeah, I do favour speed for Dustin.
Okay, so cardio.
I think
Islam.
Yeah.
I would go vice versa.
Cardio is very difficult though.
I would go. So you want to go speed on Dustin? Because I would go Islam Makhachev for speed.
No, I wouldn't.
But Dustin is quite fast too.
Yeah. I think Dustin has packed on a bit of size since that Khabib fight as well, to be fair. Just subbed says Colostrum. Y'all didn't do a full card prediction. We'll recap it at the end. You may have joined us a little bit late, but we did get to some predictions.
Yeah. This video, we'll also send out videos of the top predictions on this card. But we started on the main card. But we'll go back and recap after. Just for you, Colostrum, for subscribing. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, then. With cardio, I gotta press then this. Yeah, because that's not too silly. I will probably switch them around, say speed on Makhachev's side and cardio over for Dustin Poirier. But again, if you're looking at how the style of Makhachev in this fight is going to match up, we saw Khabib against Poirier. I know, granted, it was quite a few years ago, but the grappling style made it really difficult for Poirier and his cardio. He actually just had that grit to continue, but he was worn out because of all that grappling. So in this, we could probably see the better cardio being Makhachev if he's using his grappling effectively and wearing on the being just cardio taxing for Poirier, I think. So yeah, I can see how it can probably look that way in this one. So Daps says blue corner to win. Would you agree on the night?
No. I think Makhachev's going to get a submission. Maybe a late one. I don't know. I want to say maybe round 3.
The benchmark is Khabib done it in round 3.
He did.
Does he beat that? On par with that?
That's the thing. You'd expect a better performance from Dustin as well, perhaps, compared to that fight. But yeah, I don't think Makhachev's going to get a submission, whether it be head and arm choke. He's very good at that head and arm choke. Stopping, was it Oliveira and Drew Dober with that. I can see something similar, I'm afraid.